You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check the Jumbotron first, before attempting to eat a stack of Supreme nachos in one bite. Now you're just a meme that everyone shares on game day. Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads,
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Dad, this is very exciting. I've been wanting to get to this all show. Dan's still ashamed of that last segment, so he's not back yet.
Yeah, should be.
You had on your list of topics today, top 5 teams you're watching in the tournament.
Yes.
It's not your top 5 teams, but just teams you're interested in watching. Explain this process to us.
Well, I'll be interested in watching 5 particular teams for a certain reason. I'm going to let you guys figure out what the running theme of this list is.
Or are they like number 5? We can do like a countdown? All right, let's go.
All right, number 5. From the first 4 play-in round, they played tonight, American University, led by third leading scorer Greg Jones.
I see where we're going with this.
Got my eye on them too.
Number 4.
The Patriots.
Number 3 seed in the East, Wisconsin, coached by the incomparable Greg Gard.
Won by a lot.
Number 3, 9 seed in the South, Creighton, coached by Greg McDermott.
How they divvy up those electoral votes.
Kind of one note this bit, but all right.
Number 2, 8 seed in the Midwest, Gonzaga, led by 6th leading scorer Ben Gregg.
Reaching for that one.
And number 1, 10 seed in the South region, the New Mexico Lobos, because Bo's back Bo's.
Coached by Richard Pitino.
Yeah, how about that?
He reshaped his career after losing his job over in Minnesota.
How about that?
Lobos are back.
Lobos are back. Really good.
Jack.
Didn't we have somebody from the Lobos on our podcast? The
one that you and I do? I'm not exactly sure.
No. They
so many podcasts these days.
Like the mayor, I think the mayor of the town or something was on our podcast bragging about the Lobos. I don't know. Move on.
Greg, how much of the NCAA tournament are you actually going to watch?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I start paying real attention when it gets to the Sweet 16. Like I want the wheat, separate the chaff.
So you don't like the weekend that everybody likes.
Right.
Because this is the one.
Thursday, Friday's it, baby.
I mean, this is the one where you just get games.
I know.
They slow down after the first weekend.
I don't need that many games, and I think Cinderella is a fallacy in the NCAA. Like the 16 beating the 1 has happened, 3 times in history? Like I don't rely on that. I want good teams, survivors. When it gets down to the Sweet 16, certainly the Elite 8, that's when I really start dialing in.
I love when there's so many games that you're trying to figure out, do I have True TV? I don't know. Where is it? And it's like, it's channel 374. It's like, I didn't even know that. What's on there?
Time-honored tradition of seeing Impractical Jokers promos. Headed into every break.
Literally, I woke up on my couch at 2 a.m. this morning because I had fallen asleep.
Attaboy.
And Practical Jokers on. It was great.
What show's that?
You don't.
It's these 4 guys.
He'll
now 3 guys.
He'll find out soon enough.
Okay. Well, no, because they're not going to be on True TV by the time he starts watching.
It's amazing that he doesn't know about it just because of once a year we all get inundated with Impractical Jokers ads. But
maybe he's just watching the women's tournament because that one's on mostly ESPN.
I'll tell you what, and I'm not alone. And it wasn't just Caitlin Clark either, or Angel Reese, but last year was the first year that I personally was as interested or more interested in the women's NCAAs than the men's. I just found it more compelling. The storylines were better. And this year, I was thinking it would fall off the table because Caitlin was gone. This year, I think Jessica, what do you think? I think the momentum of the women's game has sustained. I think it's as good as last year.
I'm not a father, but I can attest to that. I read that ESPN women's basketball ratings were up this season, so still climbing, which is something that I said last year when everyone's like, oh, after Caitlin Clark goes to WNBA, no one's going to watch anymore, blah, blah, blah. No, it's still interesting. I think this year is going to be great because there's a lot of teams that could win. And there's a lot of stars. Look, Juju Watkins, yes, is a star. Paige Beckers is a star. Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles are stars. Lauren Betts. Like, there's a ton of household names in women's basketball.
Cameron Brink.
From where I'm standing,
She's in the W, but she is also
though.
a star.
Good try.
I appreciate
For
but that's
ACL,
amazing.
she's on the comeback tour now, though.
Former college
That was
player.
a good try by you, though.
It was. You know what? No bad
No bad
ideas
takes.
in
To be honest, though,
brainstorming.
I don't think he can name a current male NCAA
No, he's
player
doing-
right
he's
now.
doing-
Right.
well.
That's why I'm not.
Greg?
He knows one Duke player.
The story
Good-
of the
good, Greg,
The
good,
story
Greg.
of the tournament is
Speechless.
Cooper Flagg.
Attaboy.
Will he play in the opener? Should they hold him out until the round of 16? How are they going to handle that?
I think women's college basketball is easier to follow. I think they do a better job of marketing their stars, and also there's fewer teams that have a legit chance to win the championship, and they're actually, I think, fairly covered well in the sport. It's unavoidable if you follow sports to know exactly what South Carolina is doing, what Juju Watkins is doing, what the top upper echelon of stars are doing in that sport. Whereas college basketball feels a little bit more random. You know, the Cooper Flaggs of the world, but the teams that have a real chance, it's you know, there's just more of them. So I for that reason, I can kind of tangentially follow women's college basketball much easier than I can follow the men's game.
Yeah, and I think the rise in the women's game has been just magnificent in the last few years. I can only speak for myself. There was a time when it was all about the men's tournament for me. I barely paid any attention to the women's tournament. Now I think them as comparable competitions, every bit as good as each other. So it's go women. It's been great.
Greg, so you're going to not be watching tomorrow. I actually love that. You know why? Don't look now. We got... Uh-oh. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
What happened?
It's time
Yeah,
for
sorry.
a new game. Don't look now.
This is where you close your eyes, Dad.
Yeah, Greg, do
No
not
peeking.
look. Yeah, don't look.
Love how you had to put down your coffee to not look. You could just close your eyes.
close
You don't
your
have to
eyes,
cover
yeah.
your face
I
like
got
that.
2 hands
All right,
and 2
well,
eyes.
let me make sure I'm
can't hear
closing
you.
mine here. All right.
Yeah.
What are we not looking at right now?
All right,
Tony?
so we've got a lot of watching to do, a lot of looking to do. In the next couple of days, we got the NCAA tournament, we got hoops, we got a bunch of different things, right? But I'm telling you, don't look now. Nicole Hardman is a Packer.
Wow.
Anybody interested?
Who knew?
What do we think that means?
That was a guy when he was on a Chiefs. When he's on the Chiefs, I was
We
like,
thought he was the next
he could be
Tyreek Hill.
something. He
Yeah.
could be something.
Yeah, McCole.
Don't look now.
Greg, your eyes are open.
Greg, the whole thing is don't look.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have not been able to shake
Dan?
that last segment off
Yeah.
of me.
Welcome back, though.
Were
Is
you
this really
hiding
him?
in the bathroom?
I was ashamed. I was sinking into my own shame.
Well, Dan, don't look now, but after re-signing T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow said, we've got the right guys.
Wow, what a comment.
What else is he going to say?
Great quote.
What else is he going to say?
Is it
We
a
got the
great
wrong
quote?
guys?
That's a
Is
great
it a
quote.
great
Yeah.
This is a
quote?
Very
very
succinct.
Dad, if your eyes are clearly open but just being blocked by a piece of paper, that's looking.
I'm looking at a piece
no,
of paper.
he's not looking, Chris. This is
Thank you.
it's giving me Miami Heat, the power of friendship vibes. Like, I'm not, I know you have the right guys on offense, but that wasn't the problem last
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Don't look now. BG, Brandon Graham, officially retires from the Eagles.
Wow.
15 years in the NFL.
Why can't we look at that?
Be respectful, Dan.
Wouldn't he want that looked
Be
at?
Hey,
respectful.
Dan's back. Dan, shut your eyes.
Dan, do not look. Be respectful
Don't
about
look
BG
now,
and
but
Brandon Graham.
Mike Ryan is being forcibly restrained on the couch.
Who's looking at that?
Not me.
Okay, just making sure, because
He's
you
not
said that.
looking,
I don't know how did
which
you.
is-
how
He's
did you
not
know
looking, which is the problem.
that? Okay.
Oh God, he's on the move.
Another one here, Dan. I think this one's really important. And the last one here, Don't Look Now. Patriots signed free agent center Grady Bradbury, filling a major need on their offensive line.
That's
Not worth looking at.
Don't Look Now is presented by Smirnoff,
And his name's Garrett.
the world's number one vodka. Please drink responsibly.
That's what I said.
But you weren't looking, so I think you said Grady.
Did I say Grady?
I don't know. You weren't looking.
Okay.
I wasn't looking
All
either.
right, guys, we got to do better than that. We've got to do better than we've done for the last 30 minutes.
Oh, it's been a great hour.
I thought you were going to say like 12 years, but then you said 30 minutes.
I want a competing bit called Lookie Here.
Why 12 years?
I don't know. I picked a random number out of my ass.
Why wouldn't
20.
it be 20 years?
I figured 12's like when you started at ESPN, maybe. I don't know.
I am feeling.
I don't know the timeline.
Lookie Here is what you want to play.
Yeah, look at here.
I could.
I actually don't hate it. Let's flesh it out.
You
What do
know
you mean?
what?
Lookie here.
Let's
what
have
are we
that
looking
be
at?
the clear spin-off to Don't Look Now, Lookie Here, a
Right.
totally different game.
Got to come up with topics, though, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, that's off the top of my head. I got a storyboard in my own mind. But looky here, I'm informing people about something that they need
Mike,
to
you can
think
look
about.
now.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike,
look.
Yeah, you
Look
can
at
look
here.
now. We're on to Lookie
I
Here.
release you.
It's totally different, Mike.
Ooh, I've
don't
got
look.
one.
Don't look now. You got to wear a blindfold. Lookie Here. You're allowed to look.
Right.
Greg, looky here. Did you see Tua partying at the club?
I did not.
Looky here.
How about
Take a
less
look at
partying,
that.
more winning?
I can hear people screaming. No, it's not Don't Look Now anymore. It's Lookie Here now. It's
Right.
Lookie Here. You're now allowed to look. We've changed. We've got a spinoff.
Looky here. North Carolina is underrated and deserved to make the tournament. That would
Well,
be
but
an
that's
example.
the slow report.
Yeah, that would have been my looky here from yesterday.
No, but that's
had
not,
we
okay,
debuted it
okay, but what if
yesterday.
we were doing it right now? What if we were doing Lookie Here right now? Can you come up with something that? See, this. Look, we are shaking at the end of a work week. That's look.
It's
no,
Wednesday.
I just got here.
No, I want to paint this picture so that people
Well,
understand.
it's a Wednesday that feels like a Thursday because we were here Sunday.
It's not even just that, though. The old warhorse, Greg Cote, we've been riding this pack mule now for months, multiple times a week. When he gets to the end of the second work shift, he's been beaten down.
Correct.
I know this.
Yeah.
And so
I'm slump-shouldered.
you're hurting here, and you're giving us the best that you've got.
Right.
But it's why a couple of hours ago, it's you in the batter's box. It's a cleanup hitter. There's not a lot left in the
Yeah.
tank at this point in the
Yeah.
week for you.
Can tank Urus.
See, not a lot left.
Looky here.
He's gonna give you the best of what he's got, but there's not a lot left. But right now, based on the news of the day, can we get from the football take guy whatever it is that you want to do? Cam Ward's number one. Aaron Rodgers, the Vikings don't want him. You can give me a looky here right now and debut the game producing yourself if you've still got anything in the tank.
Okay. All right. What do you want? Like 3, 5?
I just want Lookie Here and whatever it is you want to do with Lookie Here to really sell this new game that you just invented. Don't Look Now has been replaced by Lookie Here.
Looky here. This is not a great NFL draft for quarterbacks. Cam Ward at number 1, even he is not assured of being a big star.
I'm looking at that.
Looky here. The way they're playing lately, should the Miami Heat even want to make the playoffs? I say tank a little bit. Give me a mini tank, finish 11th, avoid the purgatory of the play-in.
Don't they have a unprotected pick? What is that?
He hasn't considered that.
Yeah, pick schmick.
Again, that's a totally
There it
different
is.
conversation. We're not looking at that right
He
now.
doesn't
What we're
wanna look
looking
You're
at
right. I'm sorry.
is making sure that they don't make the playoffs to then figure out whatever's next. A couple of years ago, they could have had Wembanyama, though.
Good point.
Thank you.
Well, he's been making it for a long time. Tony, I think, debuted. I think that was the original Lookie Here for Tony. Was it not that you were suggesting that Heat playoff run against the Bucks, that it should have started with a tank for the
Why is Mike haunting me
he's
right
looking.
now?
He's looking now.
He's looking.
Oh, looky
Before
here.
he
Man,
wouldn't
you-
look.
those were so
Literally.
Told
good.
him to looky here.
You were
Okay,
look.
that's
You
a little
gave
close.
you gave him.
Mind my personal space.
He's rattled and he's losing energy as this goes. Zaslo's going to be brought in. Look, it's not easy to replace the Hall of Famer Stugotz. We tried. What just happened there?
I turned it into an Eskimo and rubbed his
Did
nose.
Mike
I
Ryan?
don't know if we call it that anymore.
Did Mike Ryan?
Why? You can't say Eskimo?
Please stop.
There's a ice cream. There's an ice cream sandwich called the Eskimo pie. What are we going to change the name of that to?
Hopefully not.
The Eskimo people are great people.
All right, Dad. Just you don't have to quadruple down. You've said enough.
They don't all live in igloos, by the way. I'm not making a stereotype.
You're making it better.
Thank you.
Dan, to answer your question, yes, that was the original Lookie
No,
Here.
let's just sit in it. Let's just Tone. Just back off.
trying to help.
No, I thank you.
Saw the ball in the air.
No, but this is what I'm. Look, this
Off
is
the
what
shingled
You
roof.
can't say Eskimo anymore.
Stop saying it.
All right. I have been falling apart for 45 straight minutes.
You really
okay.
have.
Okay, but wait a minute. You're not making anything better, and I just need you to shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Okay? I simply, what I need most from you right now is just silence. Okay?
Why don't you play Dan's terrible question again?
What is the worst part of the life?
This guy's telling me to shut up.
I didn't see it because it was out of the corner of my eye, but I'm pretty sure that Greg Cote just rubbed one of those giant nostrils across the face of Mike Ryan, who could not stay in character because of how it felt to have one of those giant nostrils graze him. Is that what?
The photo.
I do have big nostrils. Equine.
We've not taken a better picture than that. Please put that up behind me. Put it where that nostril. Look, there you can see Mike Ryan trying to stay in character, but
It looks photoshopped.
It does. It can't have really happened.
that can't smell good to Mike.
And vice versa.
We're back, Dan. Huh? Rough couple minutes, but we're back.
Well, we do nothing better than sink into the incompetence. It's available so frequently. It's so available. Hold on, let me get my head out of the way so that, yeah.
There it is.
They can put that on the tombstone of our show and I'd be good with it. Because I'd be totally good. All of that, Mike, the smells, the scents, where you're holding your breath like that, Greg Cote that close to you is, that nostril that close to you is substantive.
It would take a lot to make me stand down. I'm not saying that I stood down. But
I no
was
longer
close.
have the most awkward stutter of this segment. Dan, thank you. I was lost for words earlier when Greg said that Cameron Brink was still at Stanford, and I tried to let him slide, and I was like, "It's fine."
He's trying.
It's not been a good hour for Greg. It's been moving a little bit fast. I did want to ask you guys, because this one struck me yesterday as something that we didn't quite explore enough. Billy Gill and Greg Cote being against the fun of the Savannah Bananas. Just against 65,000 people coming out to a football stadium and filling it to see an invention of creativity that has crashed the sports market and fills the stadium in a way that's lunacy for minor league sports. And Greg's against it. And it also represents like breaking through on just, hey, sports can be fun. And Greg's against it. And Billy's against it. And I'm like, why would you be that aggressively against something just because it's popular? And it's popular because people are just enjoying something that's kind of goofy and fun and silly.
Yeah, I'm against it as the unwarranted phenomenon it has become. You know, it's a clown show disguised as sports. It's not baseball. You know, it's family entertainment. I get it. I get it why kids want to see it. It's a circus. It's a carnival. That's all it is. I don't even put it in the category of sports. You know, I maybe if I were 8 years old, 10 years old, I would be enraptured with it. But as an adult, I'm going, really? People love that?
It's rare to have an unwarranted phenomenon. In fact, I'm scanning my brain. I think the only unwarranted phenomenon was that one U2 album that showed up on everybody's phone.
Good point.
But it just seems like such a strange thing to shake your fist at in sports that...
Do you hate the Harlem Globetrotters too?
Exactly.
You know, that's what he was saying. His point yesterday was yes, that he also aggressively hates the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay, but the Harlem Globetrotters had their day. And I know they're still around. Technically, they still tour and everything.
And now the Bananas are.
But obviously, they aren't what they used to be. I thought we as a society had outlived that kind of a clown show. That's all.
We did, and we pivoted
Yeah,
to white guys.
our society's so evolved.
Now it's white guys in baseball.
They went to a sport that needed it, though, right? I mean, baseball is slow, so it's like we can do something with this sport.
Right,
It takes
and-
a lot of skill, but let's do bells and whistles. You love it, like with your
Guy on
show.
stilts.
Every episode, you're like, can we get a few bells?
running
and
the
whistles?
bases.
It's all made better by a guy on stilts.
How's he running? How's he turning second?
Oh, a guy on
He's on
stilts.
stilts.
Put it on the poll at Levitard Show. Guy on stilts make everything better? Greg Cote's still mad at Billy Corbin and said that coward jackass didn't show up.
It's true.
Iliza Shlesinger is next.
The Iceman.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was waiting and wondering and worrying if you were going to get any money back. And then waiting, wondering and worrying some more. Now, Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes as soon as today. An expert who gives your taxes their undivided attention as they work on your return, while you get real-time updates on their progress so you can focus on your day. An expert who will find you every deduction possible and file every form, every investment, everything with 100% accuracy. All so you can get the most money back guaranteed. No waiting, no wondering, no worries. Now this is taxes. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan, and how great is this weather? We're getting out of the coldest part of winter into the early on-stage spring. I know down south, the weather is perfect. It is perfect Miller time weather. You got MLB, MLS, you got NHL, you got all the sports going on, plenty of excuses to gather around a TV and have yourself a wonderful Miller time, thanks to Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people like you and me who love beer. Now is a perfect time for friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. With taste that you know you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks. I hate gimmicks. Just a great beer for people who like beer. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers because it has simple ingredients like malted barley for rich, balanced toffee note flavors and that iconic golden color. At just 96 calories and 3.2 grams per 12 ounces, Miller time is always a good time. The original light beer since 1975 and still the very best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Mattel, Heinz, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the business behind the business, making and selling, and for shoppers, buying. Simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. No one does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Heinz uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Batard, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Batard to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Batard.
Don Le Batard.
You are very comfortable talking about how you met your wife, how much you love her, how important she is to you, and that's the reason that I asked the question. I've always admired that about you, that you have no problems whatsoever professing your love.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. You know, me and Bianca didn't make it. So I moved on. We moved on. It was for the better for both of us.
Stugotz.
Things just got a little awkward there. So let me be the first on this show to congratulate you on the new wife, Vince. Congratulations on feeling whole, feeling complete, you know? Let's talk tailgating. Yeah.
Don't feel awkward, buddy. You know,
Dan, no, I don't.
Oh, it's too late for that. It's much too late for that, Vince. I appreciate you soothing me in this regard, but I already feel terribly awkward. And then my teammate comes to my defense with not a question, but just a healthy congratulations and the further pointing out of that awkwardness because he's always good for me in those spots. I'm also thinking of divorce, Vince, after many, many years, 18 years with a partner who does things like that to you.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Hello, Iliza. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, Dan.
She was on South Beach Sessions, if you've not seen her, and she's got a new special out, A Different Animal. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. She's on tour now with U.S. and international dates through the end of 2025, and she's got shows in Florida all of next weekend, March 28th at Hard Rock in Hollywood, March 29th at Hard Rock Orlando, and March 30th, Hard Rock in Tampa. You can find dates and tickets at Iliza.com. Iliza Shlesinger with us. Thank you for joining us. You could catch her on South Beach Sessions. We had a long-form conversation. How's the tour going?
Tour's going great. It's wrapping up after Florida. Those are our last U.S. dates, and then the new tour kicks off in the fall, randomly in Estonia. But I don't expect your listeners to make it out to that show. So the tour's going great. I appreciate being on here. This ring light is working overtime for this interview with me.
How do you feel about touring? It takes you away from the family. Sometimes you can bring the family with you, obviously, but how do you feel about it?
You know, this is my job. And so it changes when you become a parent. I decided as a treat / punishment, my daughter gets to come with me to Florida this time. I lured her there by telling her there's going to be a lot of fruit and tropical fruit in the green room. So a little baby has never been more excited to be at a casino.
Last time that I spoke to you, you avoided generally social media commentary, but the praise for your comedy special has been strong. Are you still avoiding it?
Yeah, I took Instagram off my phone, and my social media team looks at it. So I think social media, especially as a comic, should be a one-way street. Like, I do the output, but we're closed for the feedback because at 42, we know the compliments and the insults are always regenerating. So I'll just avoid those for the time being.
What do you love about this special? Obviously, you are now a veteran. You have polished these things. Do you feel about this better than you have about others? I know you sort of have to say that, but what have you learned?
You know, as a mother of two, I just turned 42. I think this comedy is all about giving people a really good time. You know who I am when you sign up to come see my show. You know that you're going to get a little bit of insight wrapped in comedy, but I think we're all kind of going through a weird, tough time, just with everything going on. So I think more than anything now, this is incisive, raucous, a lot of fun. It's very physical. I really do think it's fun for the whole family. I don't know if you can bring your whole family to a casino, but I think there is really something for everyone because I genuinely want to include everyone in my stand-up. So if you leave feeling offended, maybe you shouldn't be watching stand-up at all.
Ooh, that's actually a great segue to something I wanted to ask you. We have male comedians come on our show all the time, and I'm a huge fan of yours, by the way. But they come on and they always make degrading comments about women that we just let slide. So I was wondering if you could say something degrading about men.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the special, so don't you worry. It's actually baked into my body of work. Look, I really think as a real feminist, my job is to hate everyone equally, and I think that truthfully, I always want women to leave feeling good from my shows. I am one and I see the things that we're up against, but you don't have feminism without men agreeing. And no man wants to buy a ticket to a show to be told that you're a problem or to be made to feel bad. So I do believe in bringing everyone in and insulting everyone equally. And, we have an audience that's 60% men. So I'm sorry, 40% men. So I think they get the memo. But when men degrade women, it just reeks of like, I'm sorry you didn't have sex in high school and you're like still bitter about that.
Is this
Speak of the devil.
Is this an especially good time or an especially dangerous time to get into whatever you would consider to be political?
Incidentally, you're talking to somebody who didn't actually have sex in high school because he lost his virginity at 23. We learned
22,
yesterday.
actually.
Well, maybe back in the 20s it was different. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe contraceptions were different back then.
It was the 30s, so quit maligning me.
My mistake. It was called the Great Depression for a reason.
Yes, it was. But
I'm not a political comic. I mean, look, you could probably tell by the tone of my voice, like a little bit how I vote, but I believe that we all contain multitudes, and I believe it's a case-by-case basis, and I don't expect people who live in a rural area to agree with people who live in a city. My comedy is never political. It's always social, and I really pride myself on having a really nice mix of liberal, conservative, queer, your grandpa, whatever. I do a lot of work with our USO. I have a lot of military in our shows. I have a lot of people that span all political spectrums, and I think they keep coming back because there's certain inalienable truths in the comedy that I have. I don't know if my comedy brain is firing on all cylinders, but people want to feel good, and nobody wants to feel bad for an hour for who they are or how they vote or what they think. And so I always believe in digestible feminism, and that's why we play Florida. Because
Can you explain to us what the feeling is with a special coming out? You've been sculpting this work for a year or longer, I would assume. So is it relief? Is it excitement? Is it nerves? Is it all of it?
Dan, you ask such elegant questions, and I love that you said sculpting because it really is a piece of art. And I guess it's my 7th special. So I've been here before. I know the feeling, but there is an excitement of this thing that you crafted. And you have to, as an artist, just realize once you release it to the public, it's no longer mine. I stand behind everything that I said, but it's up for people to interpret and digest, regurgitate, reject, embody, however they want to. And so I'm excited to see the way the fans receive it over the next year. And I'm excited to see what those jokes turn into for the next special. So it's a roller coaster.
Are these political times good for you, though, comedy-wise, not any other way?
I feel like political times always equate to a rough economy. So, that's why I'm begging people to come out to see me at the Hard Rock so you can see a show and see Christina Aguilera's shoe right next to me. I think good or bad political time, people still need to laugh. And, I'm not getting up there and giving a full expose on the war in Ukraine. People, if anything, more than anything, need a way to get away from their problems and step into a dark room and laugh with a bunch of strangers who may not be like you. Maybe you meet your wife there. Who knows? So comedy always is good business.
What are the 3 comedians or comedians that you will check out whatever it is they're doing with a degree of enthusiasm, excitement? You'll make sure to find it and, just admire it.
I can't say I would make sure, because that would suggest that I have the free time to watch full hours of stand-up. But I always enjoy, if I'm at a show and we're all doing spots, I'll always come back in the room to watch Sebastian Maniscalco. I think he's very funny. If Cat Williams is doing something, I know that's so random. I've always been a fan. I'd have to think of the other one, but I will tell you, I do make sure to watch a lot of younger comics, and I produced several 10-minute specials called Iliza's Locals, which you can watch on Hulu, and we just did the 2nd season, which will be out on Amazon coming up this year. So I'm always down for watching new talent, helping to shape and hone and polish jokes, and so those are the things that take up my time.
One of the things that I've been interested in, and Cat Williams spoke of this when he did that Shannon Sharp interview, is pointing to the Joe Rogan comedians, and he was saying none of those guys are funny, but they are running comedy. And the amount of popularity that Rogan's guys are getting and the economy that is in Austin that now feeds Kill Tony and an assortment of other things. Where is your assessment on Cat Williams saying, I don't like the people that Joe Rogan knights, even understanding that I'm asking you a bit of a dangerous question there?
No, I'm not afraid of anything. There's no backlash here. I mean, people that would be angry at that answer are going to be angry regardless. Look, comedy is a meritocracy, and you don't have to like who's successful, but you can't knock the fact that it happens, And especially now with the internetification of comedy, comics have more access to finding their audience. There's no kingmakers anymore. You don't have to go on the Tonight Show and be anointed. Greg, I know you miss those days. You don't have to go on Star Search. It doesn't have to be because you had this special set. So you are finding comics who are able to find their niche audience and do really well, and they're not even household names. So that's good and that's bad. But I don't think you benefit ever from coming out and saying who you really hate and why, because even if you're right, it always sounds like sour grapes.
I'm curious what you think of the TV series Hacks and how accurate you think it is.
It's so accurate. It's so scathingly accurate. I wish I could just get in a room with those writers and be like, but how do you know this? She, of course, reminds me of Joan Rivers, but I remember I watched the whole thing. I was reticent to watch it because I was like, you know, as a woman who's tried to pitch a show about a female comic, you're always told that no one would watch it. And then you have Marvelous Miss Maisel and this. So there goes to show you. But when she tried to get her own late night show and she couldn't, I cried watching it. And I think a lot of women cried because we all know that feeling of trying and just being told that you're not right, you're not good enough at all times. So the show, it's like a ghost of Christmas future, Christmas past. Like, I hope to be that scathingly honest and bitter and intelligent and well-dressed when I'm Gene Smart's age in that show.
There's no more famous story of the way that women can be mistreated in comedy than Joan Rivers being run off the road the moment that she started competing with Johnny Carson after Johnny Carson and helped her in so many ways, and she helped him in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it comes down to, and for the girl who's there, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad there's another girl here. I think it comes down to women contain multitudes and do great things. And as much as we get pit against one another, it usually is like a bitter male comic secretly stepping on your neck. Like, I have seen those tantrums in my own interviews. I've had male comics walk out of a podcast. I've had male DJs walk out. I've had men who, you know, I might have the wrong inflection and then all of a sudden they're upset. So we always are told to get this tough skin, but I would give that advice right back.
My name's Lucy, by the way.
Lucy, nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
I would assume that
Charlotte.
it is a world of atrophied adolescents, close to toddlers, is what I would assume the world is.
Yeah, I think to criticize these things as a woman, you just get called a bitch. And even when you go on some of these podcasts and you agree with the host, you know, you're still subjected to the comment section, which is why I turned that thing off. And so you are dealing with gigantic children. But for some reason, if you're smart enough to know that, somehow that makes you the problem. And so it is this weird catch-22 of like being just smart enough to know the environment, but like not being able to comment on it. So the answer is make your own money, sell out your own shows, get your own fans as a comic so you don't have to ask anybody for anything. And that is my favorite part of this job is I don't require permission.
What do you love and hate about the road?
Oh my God, I don't think we have enough time. I love making this is so dorky, but like I just did it. I love making a connection. I'll call it like a butthole tight connection in a big airport and walking from one plane onto another. Like you feel like you nailed it. I love that. I love obviously the performing and the fans. I don't love trying to find like a good salad late night in a city like Buffalo. I don't love missing my family. But I do love the travel, and I do love seeing those miles get racked up, and I do love being the only woman in first class sometimes, and I love getting to see all the different types of fans all across the world and our country because it gives me a true working knowledge of this amazing country. Because it's very easy to sit in somewhere like Los Angeles and live in your bubble, although Los Angeles is like 70% Latino, so it is pronounced buble. But it's very easy to sit here and have judgments about everyone else, but then you go to those cities. Like I've been to Gary, Indiana, the murder capital of the world. You know, you go to Cincinnati, you go to New York, you go to whatever to get some real context, and you realize, oh my God, people are good everywhere. And that's why I don't just like take aim randomly because someone's politically different. Like we are all mostly good people just trying to like live our lives and eat some buffalo wings at 2 a.m.
Give me some of the moments or a moment on this particular tour where you have been awed by either the size or the emotion of the crowd and compared it to something in your past early in the journey where you were like, man, I'm a long distance from that catastrophe when I used to tour.
I appreciate that question. That would suggest that I have any gratitude. And as a comic, I don't. I only ever think about the ways that I'm failing. And I know as a woman, I'm supposed to be like so grateful. I'm never in awe of the size of the crowd because I look at those ticket counts, so I always know what we're walking into. But I will say, I brought my daughter to my show in Vancouver, which was incredible. They're always amazing. And she watched from side stage. And at the end, she ran out. No one told her to. She ran out, and I scooped her up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I started talking about like hand jobs and vodka sodas at 21, like getting paid like free chicken fingers at like a bar in Santa Barbara, like wherever. And now there's like a little girl here that I deliberately had. And so that was a weird first. And I toured pregnant with both kids. So I turned over and I was like, I can't believe that this little girl is here. And that I let her stay up till like 11 o'clock, which is really bad parenting.
Oh, but that's such a great snapshot that you're describing at the top of your profession where, I mean, that's just the coolest. How old is she when this is happening?
So she was a little bit under 3 and she just turned 3. And so just like her little legs running out. And she wasn't afraid of the crowd or anything. It was just a magical moment to like scoop her up, and I knew I got to be backstage with her. Normally there's a dog waiting for me, but having her back there, and I was like, oh wow, you ate all the fruit in the green room? And so
you were actually paid in chicken fingers. That how early in the career was that where the act paid you in chicken fingers?
So the secret was, and this is before everybody got paid. You know, now you get paid to do your spots around town, but I had a day job. This would have been, I got a gig in Santa Barbara. So I left my day job at 6 o'clock. I drove down there, and like at the time, no one was really getting paid, or at least I wasn't. But you got free dinner at this bar, and they gave you 20 minutes because you couldn't get 20 minutes at the time in LA. I was like 25 because no one knew who I was. So I got free chicken fingers, and I got to fill up my own gas tank and pay for it. So that was that.
March 28th at Hard Rock in Hollywood, March 29th at Hard Rock Orlando, March 30th, Hard Rock in Tampa. If you want dates and tickets, Iliza.com. Help us settle an argument from yesterday. People are yelling at me because they say I ruined and spoiled the Righteous Gemstones because I told everybody that Walton Goggins is funny when doing full frontal and angry. What are the rules on this in the modern age? Can you help me, please?
On spoilers?
Yes.
I think you have to put a spoiler alert if it's within. Does Righteous Gemstones, and I should know this because I was on it last season, do they release them all at once?
Hold on a second. No, it's not. No. Hold on.
Look at me, Lucy.
It's just a name drop. When you said I was on it last season, we like to, it's a look at me situation.
Oh, yeah. I was on it. Good luck finding me. I'm in a giant wig. But I should know. I don't remember if they drop them all at once or if it's appointment viewing. Do you know?
It's supposed to be appointment viewing. I thought that this was one of the shows that we all talk about at the same time.
I think you get to do a spoiler alert. Like, I think if it comes out that week, you have to write spoiler alert. But if we're a week out from it, I think then you missed it. It's appointment viewing. But I think always writing spoiler alert or saying it so people have a chance to tune out is online courtesy.
I reject that as a suggestion uniformly. I will not accept.
I didn't say trigger warning. I said spoiler alert. They're different.
It is nice to see you again. Iliza.com is where you go. A different animal is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. There it is. Look at that. Look. Wait a minute. What? Look at that. What?
I just knew it would be a great way to go out.
Yes, that's a great dismount. Looks deeply unhappy, that animal.
She is.
Projecting, Dan.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank
you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, I know I got to do this ad read, but hold on. Let me reapply. Did you hear that? Yep, that's my new favorite lip gloss from NYX Cosmetics. Now I'm ready to talk to you. I've been a huge fan of NYX Cosmetics for many years now. In fact, I use their Thick It, Stick It brow gel every single day. So you can imagine my excitement when we recently received a special delivery to the Le Batard studios from our friends over at NYX Cosmetics. And there it was. When I opened the box, glowing, I heard the angels sing, "Ah." It's their latest lip gloss fat oil lip drip. It's NYX Cosmetics' first lip oil of its kind. This creamy lip oil will have your lips dripping with fat perks. You get all the shine of a lip gloss and none of the stickiness while experiencing 12-hour hydration. I'm usually a matte lip gloss kind of gal. My normal go-to is NYX Cosmetics lip gloss, the Lingerie XXL. But after applying the status update shade, I have found my new go-to lip gloss. Fat Oil Lip Drip has high shine finish with comfortable wear and none of the sticky texture. A lip product that's hydrating, non-sticky, and only $9? Now that's a win. Try Fat Oil Lip Drip from NYX Professional Makeup. Available in 14 universally flattering shades. Find your perfect Fat Oil Lip Drip. Shop now at nyxcosmetics.com or a retailer near you.
Hey friends, it's Jer Bear here, and I'm here to tell you all about Boost Mobile, which is now a legit nationwide 5G network. So I must take a break from the jokes here for a second and put on my serious voice, because I would never ever joke about a 5G network that has invested billions building 5G towers across the country. Not even once. Not even if Mr. Boost Mobile himself asked me to. There is nothing funny about it. Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store location to learn more. The Boost Mobile network, together with our roaming partners, covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds, not available in all areas.